This is Carl. Good morning. Today is July 22nd, 2024. Yesterday we had another book club meeting at the Hunan Library in Changsha. It was a very special event for me in many different senses. My family were all there. It was their very first time. My parents have been to 2 different book club meetings, but not this one, at the Hunan Library, which is seemingly more legit and formal. I would spend way more time on preparing this book club meeting than other things. Yesterday we had lunch around 1 p.m. and the book club meeting started at 3. During those 2 hours, I was feeling intensely nervous. Nervousness was not the only emotion I felt, though. I also felt excited. I am excited about this upcoming meeting because after this meeting, I know I will learn something. I can improve as a host of a book club meeting. I can learn from my experience. Where can I do better? Right? So I'm excited. And also I'm excited that even I felt nervous, I would still remain calm and talk slowly, just like this. I wouldn't rush myself. Keep going. Talk faster. People are losing patience. I used to tell myself that. I still tell myself that. That part of me still bother me with those interrogation. Are you wasting people's time? Do you know what you're doing? Does that even make sense to people? You should prepare more. Stuff like that. I'm excited because even though I felt those energy draining thoughts, I can just be comfortable. I screw up. I just screwed up. Like that, like literally the last moment I screwed up. I felt like I didn't express myself clearly. During the meeting, I felt that as well. I should make that more clear. I should manage the time better. I should just stop people when they're talking too much or off topic. I screwed up, but that's just fine. That's just fine. I tell myself, relax, it's okay. Don't blame yourself. There's no point to blame yourself because that would take your power away. Does that make sense? The moment you allow yourself to feel bad, negative, guilty, is the moment you will do even worse. On the opposite, if you keep affirming yourself and give yourself a permission to screw up, I just screwed up, but that's just fine. I can do better. I'll be just fine. Keep talking. Keep talking. And you don't have to rush. I'm showing you what I'm doing, right? I'm showing you how do I do it. not everything have to make sense. Even though I thought I might not make any sense, people got it. Really. Like I just ask people, does that make sense? And they always say yes. Oh, maybe they didn't understand fully or saw it from my perspective. But that's fine. My point is, even you thought you made total sense, you felt great about what you just said, right? People might be confused. Okay. Everybody got very different understanding about different things, right? For many different factors. Yeah. So I felt a mix of feelings. I felt excited, I felt nervous, I felt relieved, I felt empowered, you know. I felt really joyful. Yep. But those positive emotions, I mean, I could further elaborate why did I feel those. But let me keep going. So yeah, the host experience was a quite exciting thing for me. As I already said many times, I felt excited, I felt nervous at the same time. And I really didn't think, what exactly do I say? Unlike the past events, the past meetings, I even tried to write a script under the slides and just remind myself the points I'm going to make, but I didn't do that. I just allowed myself to talk through my energy and my intuition. Yup. And I led 2 meditation practices. I think that's definitely the best thing to do in a meeting. You help yourself. As a host, you feel nervous. I felt nervous. But if you can just be there, together, practice being silent and enjoying, at least try to enjoy your feelings. I keep saying how you feel. Just feel yourself. Feel your inner self. Feel yourself within. You don't have to judge your feelings. You don't have to give them names. Oh, I feel nervous. I feel excited. I feel confused. I feel impatient. Like that. You will do that. But in a meditation, you try not to do that. You try not to judge anything you feel. So you don't give names to those feelings. You just feel them. You feel them. Feel them with your heart, not your mind. You know what I'm saying? And through the first meditation practice, I became a lot more comfortable. I could be just there without talking at all. You know? By doing that, subconsciously, I accept being silent and taking long pauses. These are all right. These are all right. It's not a sprint, you know. I think one of the misunderstandings I used to have is being a great speaker requires to talk fast, right? Does that make sense? You can like, I've already spoken for 10 minutes. How much sense did I make? You know, you can talk for 30 minutes or even an hour. And what things would your listener remember and understand? That varies, right? So it's not about the speed. You see, I'm giving myself really unlimited time to pause. Just take a pause. Relax. You know? I did feel an increasing amount of anxiety after a friend of mine asked me a question during the meeting. He asked me, he read the book and he told me, if you surrender, how do you know what action do you take? This question might be a little bit more complicated than what I just said. Yeah, just like that, I didn't know how to answer that question. Mainly because I assume as it takes a little bit more time for us to communicate on this, you know, in order to help him to understand some of the points. I need to take more time, and I wasn't so comfortable taking that time to answer his questions while everybody was there, you know. I didn't wanted to spend like 5 minutes on answering that question that might not be helpful to other people. But that's just a cover-up excuse for not being able to answer his questions on the spot. But again, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed not knowing and not giving answers to his question. And that's okay. And someone else could help him. And that's what happened. Some other friends just raised their hands and tried to answer that question. That's great. That's what makes the book club meeting meaningful. This meeting is not me giving a lecture, okay? I'm not the professor who knows everything about spirituality and surrender. I'm just a fellow book lover who probably spent the most time on this book, literally. I read a few times already. But still, I'm not Michael Singer himself. I'm not Eckhart Tolle. I can't answer all these questions effectively. However, those are just that thought part of myself, you know? Because I also have one part of myself telling me I could totally answer that question. I can totally make sense of all this. Because it all makes sense to me. I understand it. If I understand it, I can explain it. I just have to relax and try. If I screw up, that's okay. So next time, I'll use that opportunity to practice surrendering. Which means I'll try to answer his questions, even it might take extra time. Even it might not answer his questions clearly. Even he might still feel confused and doubt it. That's okay. You have to surrender to that consequence, the result. Okay? And absolutely other people have very similar questions. If I can just try to answer the questions, they will help others. So that's one thing I can do better next time. I should encourage myself to talk more. I did talk a lot, but I could talk more. So we had about 3 rounds of discussion. And the first discussion was among 5 to 8 people, discussing what is surrender. We're here to read and discuss the book, The Surrender Experiment. But what is surrender? I think this is a very fundamental question to actually communicate. And then we had questions about Michael's stories and our own stories in life that were surrendered, that happened through surrendering. And I talked to 3 other friends. They all shared some powerful, authentic, personal stories. Lots of strengths. They talked about death and giving birth. Those are probably the most impactful stories. Yeah. I'm just grateful that I'm able to listen and get to know people's stories like that. I'm not going to share their stories here, but I might do that in my journal later. So yeah, the event lasted for 2 hours, the meeting. We finished our meeting with another 3-minute meditation practice. My mind resisted it and thought, it's already 5 p.m. The meeting was scheduled to be from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. So I said to people, you can leave if you got something to do after this. But I just know a group meditation can be very helpful. We spend too much time thinking with our minds. let's take another moment to practice not using our minds, but our energy. Try to use your consciousness to observe your energy and yourself, your feelings. Simply observe. Do not judge. Do not label them, good or bad. Very important. I just believed if I didn't lead people to meditate, most people wouldn't take the time to do it at home by themselves when they're alone. It's too difficult. It's actually impossible for some people. Like, I still remember what it was like. I knew meditation is helpful, but I wouldn't do it because it's suffocating. When I just closed the door in my room and it became just completely quiet, I can't face myself. I can't deal with my emotions. I need something to escape and take my attention away from myself to other things, to other people's life. I'm okay to judge people's life, other people's life, but I don't feel good to judge my own life and myself. That's why for most of us, meditation is almost impossible. Yeah, so people loved it. At least what I heard. People all enjoyed the meditation session we had. Being quiet and peaceful. Alright, I think I've shared enough. Before we headed back, we had dinner together. It was like 5 minutes walk. There was a vegetarian buffet restaurant. It was great. We talked again after and during the meeting, the dinner. That's really awesome because nobody was required to stay and talk. We just wanted to do it. We just wanted to talk to each other more. We had many questions. We wanted to give answers. We want to explain. Yeah, I talked to that friend and I tried to answer his questions. But we talked about something else as well. We talked about running. We talked about how to get over the phone addiction. And why can we get benefited from running and meditation like that. Oh, by the way, at 3 p.m. today, the Changsha Marathon 2024 will be open to register. I surrender to the result, to the drawing result. If I got in, I'm definitely running on October 20th, 2024, Changsha Marathon. I've never run Changsha Marathon yet. But if I don't get in, there are many more marathon events all over the world. Yeah. So, yeah, we got back home safely after that dinner. Around 9, I went to bed at 10 after a meditation, of course. And I got up at 4:40 this morning. My alarm ran off at 4:30, but I just went back to sleep. I mean, I didn't fall asleep completely. I just struggled and hesitated if I should get up and charge the car. Because we're not going anywhere far today. It's okay if we charge the car tomorrow, but I still came and charged the car. Yeah. Okay. This is perfect. It's 99% now. Yep. I'm heading back and I will spend my morning on my journals. Thank you so much for listening to this long and slow talk of me reflecting on a book club meeting I participated and hosted. It was a great experience. Again, I'm grateful for everyone who made the effort to come to the meeting on a Sunday. Why? It was really hot yesterday. Yeah, so I appreciate people's willingness and time. Yeah. Thank you again for listening and watching. Talk to you later. Have a great day.